it was tough. We were also feeling like we were kind of giving death notifications to family members, which is something that it's a difficult responsibility to kind of compartmentalize your emotions during that. And so in a lot of those conversations, we would shed tears with the family, and that was the most difficult. I mean, for me anyway, that was the most difficult part of the investigation, is breaking that news to the family.
Meeting with the victims and giving them the bad news was a really hard thing to do. And it wasn't just one time. And Agent Bush did a big chunk of those notifications in giving them the bad news that the ashes that they had in their home were not their loved one. And as described by Agent Bush, it's like giving a death notification over and over and over. And that was really difficult. As an agent, it's not something that we do a lot of, and we had to do this a lot in this case and share that emotion that is human. The emotion of dealing with loss and trying to be compassionate to these victims. And that was a difficult thing for all of us that worked this case.
During the conversation, you would kind of get a feel for the individual person, and then, I mean, at least I would always ask, like, do you want to know exactly what happened? Or we'd kind of layer it out. Okay, so this is what we found out was the disposition of your loved one. We do have some other information, you know, and we would kind of let them guide how much information they specifically wanted to know. And that wouldn't just be over one conversation. It might be over multiple conversations. It might be, you know, they didn't know at first, and then they called back, or we had another conversation a week later after they had thought about it. It really varied with each individual person. Some people wanted to know all the details that we could tell them. Others didn't want to know and wanted to make sure that we wouldn't communicate any details to some of their other family members because they were worried about how some of their family members would take the news. So it really ranged and varied how those discussions went according to the individual that we were speaking to.
In this case, it was also okay to shed some tears with the victims and connect with them